Hey, I'm back, and it's just me by myself. There's no Blake or Jackson, and we're starting off with a brand new console with another Mario game in store, Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This is actually going to be, one, a lot of fun, and two, probably very stress-inducing, because I have actually practiced this quite a bit. I haven't actually gotten as far as to finish the game, but holy shit, this game... it's not only gorgeous and also, really fun to play, it will also test your fucking abilities. So as you can see right there, there's my my save right there. I believe that's percentage, which I've done 43%. I'm going to just leave that there for now. Instead, we're just going to go ahead and do Mario B instead, because I felt that after the practice, I've actually had the hang of it and knowing exactly what I need to do. And yeah, we're going to get straight to it. I've only got as far as up to, I think it was World 5 at the time, which is one of the worlds listed over in the forest, I think, from memory. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that. And because it's just me, we're just going to go with player 1. I didn't think that having Blake around would actually be... Well, not that I mind him having around, of course, but it's just, yeah, he wouldn't have actually had the experience of playing this kind of game, but... Welcome! This is Dinosaur Land. In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser is at it again. Oh, as we say that again. No, you can say that again. Alright, so, starting at Yoshi's house, well, it's just basically a feel-through of what you need to do when controlling Mario here. Hello, sorry I'm not home, but I have gone to rescue my friends who were captured by Bowser. Sincerely, Yoshi. Yeah, well, I think I'll just... You put that job to rest, because I'm going to be doing pretty much all the work right here. This is basically his house. He's got his trees, he's got his food supply there. He's doing pretty well for paying taxes, I would say. Keeping himself warm. Not much to actually see around here, but yeah, anyway. So with Mario, this is... get a bit of an introduction of what you can do. Obviously you can jump, you can walk at the sort of normal speed, or you can press the I press another input right here to speed up his speed. Yes, I'm playing on an emulator. I'm not entirely sure what button it is I'm pressing. So as well as jump, you can also do a little spin jump right here with the other button as well. And I think there's many other mechanics that I can also dabble into, but we need to actually get into a level so I can actually start going through what this game has to offer. So yeah, we're going to start off things with Yoshi's Island. Oh, and originally I was playing this game and I was doing sort of one world at a time, which I thought, yeah, that would make sense, I would actually do that. But it turned out that every time I made a new reset of the game, my life counter would reset back to 5, and I thought, no, this is ridiculous, I ain't having this shit. So for the first time since forever, we're going to try and see if we can finish this game in one go. Now, of course, I realized that I haven't actually gotten that far to completing it, because it was, I thought I at least had the experience down pat, and then I can just sort of work my way around through, knowing exactly how to get through with this. But yeah, it's kind of a bit of a squabble jab of a risk right there, but it shouldn't be that much of a big deal right there. Alright, so in this world we can also get across some sort of tutorial blocks that you can see right here. Point of events, you can hold an extra item in the box at the top of the screen, and we can select it. So yeah, I can get another mushroom if I really wanted to, whether I shrink back down into Mini Mario after getting hit, or vice versa. But you can also swap your items as well, but we're going to be doing that because we're going to need as much support as possible. Alright, pick up shells. Alright, I need to remember this. Yeah, use the X or Y button to throw the shell upwards. Alright, this is what, so by using the dash button, you hold the shell up, and then I believe it's, no, it's not that one. It's, just trying to remember. There we go. So I've got to, yeah, just got to hold it up, basically. The shell obviously has its uses, of course. You let go of it, just like in Super Mario Brothers for the NES. One of the only games I haven't yet to complete because I just couldn't be asked. Well, it's not because I couldn't be asked, most likely because I thought, you know what, this is actually a good place to actually end it, because it's quite funny. I think it's quite funny. So, Blake thinks that as well. Alright, let's see, it's just going to avoid all my attacks. But I reckon... Well, that could have actually gotten better if I did it right, but yeah. You're supposed to jump on it and then I was meant to get the tape. That didn't happen. Anyway, doesn't really matter. This is just a little introduction right here. I will actually explain how things work in the game. Okay, I've got some things memorized down. We are going to go up here for a very important thing because we have a switch palace, which if you remember seeing those transparent square blocks that weren't filled up, well, we need to activate a switch so that they become whole once again by, by pressing this power block. We also got given access to all these fucking coins, and the power blocks can also turn those blocks with eyes into solid coins too. No, I meant to say, well, you know, the coins can turn into blocks and blocks can turn into coins. You know, it's that kind of theory that works both ways. It's all good. Anyway, by doing all that, we can just come over here and now we can activate the yellow switches. The power of the switch you have pushed will turn those blocks into these blocks. Your progress will also be saved. Yep. So we can actually go back and we can see that happening, but we don't need to because if we were to go forward, we can actually see there's a level that dedicates most of those blocks filled up, so you don't actually die very easily. So we're going to go back and do that by heading over to Yoshi's Island 2. So my history of playing this game is that I played this a long time ago, not from the actual SNES console itself, but I figured, you know, I did have I think a different SNES emulator, and I played a little bit of this, and for the most part I did have fun, but I got to a point where I wasn't quite prepared to actually finish the rest of the game. Hooray! Thank you for rescuing me. My name is Yoshi. I'm on my way to rescue my friends. Bowser trapped me in that egg. Yeah, I told you I said I was going to be doing all the work. In fact, by the time I ride you, which, you know, don't take that the wrong way, it's all just going to be done by me, bro. You know, you can just go home. Alright, we're going to do a spin jump, let's say. Yep, so this is basically, when riding Yoshi, you've got different mechanics. I can press the other button, which I think is the Y, to extend out my tongue. You can also eat this fruit, right so. You can jump, you can also, by pressing the spin jump, you can hop off of Yoshi. And obviously his speed increases too. So we just got to be careful with that. Those are dragon coins. You collect 5 of them and you get a life. I try my best to at least get as many of those as I can. At least in the first levels, it's actually easy to rack up lives at this point. This game, yep, so that's basically your checkpoint right here. So anytime you die, you are transported back into these, well, to the checkpoint. Now, if you're on a Yoshi and you see another egg, the egg will turn into a life, and then you get an automatic life. It's quite cool, actually. You just keep that in mind. Eat this fucking prairie dog. If you get hit, but you're on Yoshi, you don't actually lose an ability, but you do hop off of Yoshi, so you just have to catch up to him. And make sure that he doesn't go too far. Yeah, Yoshi acts as a bit of an insurance policy right there, which is actually really nice. Like, for example, here I'm going to do a jump spin so I can get off of Yoshi, because he can't climb vines like Mario can here. Get up here and grab ourselves a coin. Okay. There's plethora of secrets in the Mario game, and if you know exactly where to look for, then yeah, you'll know exactly that there are there's also alternative secrets as well. And see, these blocks right here are now being activated because of the switch palace that we've just had as well. Oh, shit, gotta get the mushroom. Yeah, some of these fruits can also provide, I guess, little bonuses along the way. Alright, got another alternative, which we just use, we just hop off of, okay. I had no idea what just happened right there. I've never actually seen that, because I come here and I sort of ignore those blocks. But anyway, we come up here for the for 1-up, which is nice. We're going to try and get as many lives as possible, because in the later down stages, the game will start to eat my lives away, which is not cool. Not cool at its best, but yeah, the more we just continue on and persevere, it should be fine. Alright, it's more stages along the way, say like the 3rd stage, which is the next one coming up. I probably will have a bit of difficulty. Alright, so these blocks right here. Oh shit, yeah, we're trying to avoid that, son of a bitch. In fact, I think if you just jump on his head multiple times, there we go, he's basically gone. We're going to turn those coins into blocks, because if we come up here, we have a chance of... I don't know what happened. I was meant to get the tape. In fact, I could have gotten... Okay, that should be said. If you manage to break the tape, you get star points, which adds to your bonus. In fact, no, before we even go there, I really want to show off what it actually does, because I kind of find it annoying that if you don't do it right, then... Oh, hang on, let me just Okay. So here's another benefit. If you complete a level, you can press the pause and then backspace to exit out of the level. If you were to get the checkpoint within that stage and then exit out, then you would go back into the checkpoint and you have to finish the level before you can start the whole thing again. So it's a bit neat, of course. But anyway, I got off of Yoshi because I want to get a life. Oh god. Alright. Oh, we've ditched Yoshi. Well, that's okay, because we will be picking him up from here anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so by depending on how high you get the tape, it really depends how also you approach it from there too. An example for this is that you can't jump over the tape because it would not count, it would negate it, which I've had that happen to me a few times. So you're going to have to sort of jump underneath and grab it yourself. Sometimes you have an additional boost like Yoshi, or even a certain platform like what just happened at the end. That's not always easy, of course, because I always seem to miss it, of course. But you want to get those, you want to get the fucking, those stars. You've noticed between Mario and my lives, as well as my power-up, you notice those red stars. They can only be acquired once I actually finish this goddamn fucking stage. But again, that's it's easier said than done. We'll just come down here so we can get another self of life, which I want to say is you. You are going to give me the lifey life. We don't have to worry about the others. Sweet. Let's go. No, it's the third one from all 5. Okay. So there we are. And then we got ourselves the fucking. Just jump over them. All right. Oh, I don't. You know what? We're just not going to worry about it. Eventually it will happen, and when you get 100 of those bonus stars, then you get into a bonus which will grant you basically more lives. So, I mean, just think about replaying this level. I managed to get more lives anyway. So, anyway, Yoshi's Island 3. This is where the game starts to get somewhat hard, but if you didn't activate the Switch Palace, this would have been a lot more harder. There are big coins, yes, dragon coins. We can get an extra Mario life if we manage to get all 5 of them. I see a lot of people that basically they ignore those coins. They have other means of actually grabbing lives in ways that are much more easier. These blocks can also act as little bonus trinkets, as ways of getting certain power-ups. You've got the mushroom, which obviously makes Mario a lot bigger. Therefore, he can take at least another hit along the way. Now, as Yoshi, if you actually consume a Koopa with a red shell, he'll actually spit fire back out, which is nice. In fact, we're going to demonstrate this right here. See if we can have an enemy up ahead. I don't know if there is one around. No, I think there is some stuff down there, but I'm not going to go ahead and find that out myself. Should be. There we go. Oh, hang on. I know, Yoshi. Boom! There we are. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button right there. Okay, doing good. Now there is a certain power-up I do want, but the other power-ups, of course, as you know, the flower-up, just like in Super Mario Brothers, allows Mario to spit fireballs out towards his enemies and make all sorts of doomy havoc. See, there's another right there. And because it's considered a bit more superior than the mushroom, it overlaps the mushroom, so I can switch out the flower for a flower. And if you pick up the your power-up that you got out, how do I explain it? So, just say if I had a mushroom in that little slot thing up there, then if I want to switch it out to the mushroom, then the mushroom will go back as the flower will go back into it as a mushroom. But you get what I'm saying, of course. Yeah, they swap it out. You don't actually, eliminate your last power-up that you had before, which is quite nice. And there's one more power-up which is my favorite, but we haven't yet come across it just yet. I believe that will happen in the next stage, I want to say, but that's kind of debatable right there. Okay, I think we've missed another coin, but that's fine. That is fine. Now let's see. There we go. So by cutting the tape, depending on how high you cut the tape, you get more points. And there we go. I've got 28. The highest I believe I've gotten out of that was 40, and that's at the very pinnacle top of it. Not easy to get, but it's possible. Like I said, the more times you get that, then the better chance you have of getting the bonus and actually doing the bonus stage. So doing Yoshi's Island right here won't actually take that long to do. We'll actually be able to finish this, and you can actually finish this in less than 10 minutes if you're really that good. But I'm just sort of taking my time with this because I really want to make sure that I get as much lives as possible, because you're going to need it along the way. It's not a very nice game from time to time, of course. Alright, what have we got? If you already, if you are in an area that you have already cleared, yes, that's the game basically telling you, saying that you can go back whenever you want to, but only when you've cleared this the level, of course. Doesn't happen once you freshly boot in. I've had that happen a few times. You can also use it as an exploit, of course. Just when you're about to fall and die into an abyss and all that, you can just pause the game and then restart back. Yeah, like I said, it is quite exploitive, but you know, it works. Alright, so we've got ourselves got a lot of things around here actually. Oh god damn it, I didn't mean to do that, but we want to get this. There we are. So we can turn all those gold into blocks once we can just get there. And of course, if we had the shell, then, you know, we could actually kick these Koopas' asses, but we don't. But whatever, it don't matter. Oh yes, Yoshi's feet apparently are invincible. He can bypass a lot of physical abuse right there. I don't think there's anything up there that we need to worry about. There is something up here, but again, I don't want to leave Yoshi too far behind with everything, so yeah. Alright, we're just going to keep on going. There we are. Avoid the fish going into the pipe. Now, of course, Mario can swim, but of course there's lots of hazards that you have to be aware of. Try not to actually get too bombarded by the hazards as much as possible. Yoshi's Island is pretty linear at this point, because there will be levels that you'll come across that actually have alternative exits. And in order to recognize them, you'll notice that the levels here are flashing yellow. If they're yellow, there's only one exit, but if there's red, then there is another alternative exit. And I nearly had all of them so far when I got up to the Forest of Illusion. That's what it was called. I couldn't remember for the life of me.